Animism is one of the earliest forms of religious and spiritual belief, deeply rooted in the idea that all things, animate and inanimate, possess a spirit or soul. This worldview has been prevalent in various cultures around the globe, particularly among indigenous and tribal communities. Unlike many modern religions that distinguish between the sacred and the profane, or between humans and nature, animism emphasizes a harmonious connection between all elements of the natural world. Understanding animism requires a broad examination of its principles, its presence in different cultures, and its influence on religious thought throughout history. This exploration will take us through the origins, development, key concepts, and the ongoing relevance of animism in contemporary thought and environmental philosophy. Animism can be traced back to prehistoric times, possibly as far as the Paleolithic era, when early humans first began to form spiritual and religious ideas. Cave paintings, burial practices, and artifacts from these periods suggest that early humans believed in a world inhabited by spirits. These spirits were thought to reside in animals, plants, rocks, rivers, and other natural features, influencing the lives of people who lived in close connection with their environment. Animism has been a dominant belief system among indigenous cultures across the globe, from the Native American tribes of North America to the Aboriginal peoples of Australia, the Shinto traditions of Japan, and the diverse tribes of Africa and the Amazon. These cultures often view the world as an interconnected web of life, where every entity, whether it be a mountain, a tree, or an animal, has its own spiritual essence and deserves respect. The term animism was first coined in the 19th century by British anthropologist Edward Burnett Tylor in his work Primitive Culture, 1871. Tylor used the term to describe the belief in spiritual beings and the attribution of a spiritual essence to natural objects and phenomena. Tylor considered animism to be the earliest form of religious belief, one that eventually evolved into more complex religious systems. While his evolutionary perspective has since been criticized, his work laid the foundation for the anthropological study of religion. The central tenet of animism is the belief that all entities in the natural world have a spiritual essence or soul. This concept is not limited to living beings, such as humans and animals, but extends to plants, rocks, rivers, and even weather phenomena. In many animistic traditions, these spirits are seen as sentient and capable of influencing the physical world. Animistic worldviews emphasize the interconnectedness of all life. Humans are not seen as separate from nature, but as part of a larger ecosystem of spiritual relationships. This interconnectedness often leads to a sense of reciprocity, where humans must respect and honor the spirits of nature to maintain balance and harmony in the world. In many animistic cultures, shamans or spiritual leaders act as mediators between the human world and the spirit world. Shamans are believed to have the ability to communicate with spirits, often through rituals, trance states, or the use of sacred plants. They play a crucial role in healing, divination, and maintaining the balance between the physical and spiritual realms. Totemism is closely associated with animism and involves the belief in a spiritual connection between a group of people, often a clan or tribe, and a particular animal, plant, or natural object, known as a totem. The totem is considered a spiritual ancestor and protector of the group, and its symbolism is often integral to the group's identity and rituals. Among Native American tribes, animism is a foundational aspect of spiritual life. Many tribes believe in a great spirit or great mystery that is present in all things. The spirits of animals, plants, and natural forces are revered and often play central roles in myths, rituals, and daily life. The respect for nature inherent in these beliefs is reflected in practices such as hunting rituals, where animals are honored and thanked for their sacrifice. In Japan, Shinto is a form of animism that venerates kami, or spirits, which are believed to inhabit natural objects, places, and living beings. Shinto rituals often involve offerings and prayers to these kami, seeking their protection and blessings. Unlike many other religions, Shinto does not have a strict moral code, but focuses on maintaining harmony with the kami and the natural world. Across Africa, traditional religions are deeply animistic, with beliefs that spirits inhabit trees, rivers, mountains, and animals. These spirits are often considered ancestors who continue to influence the lives of their descendants. Rituals, sacrifices, and festivals are conducted to honor these spirits, seek their guidance, and ensure the fertility of the land and the well-being of the community. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia have a rich spiritual tradition centered on the concept of dreamtime, which refers to the time of creation when ancestral spirits shaped the land and its inhabitants. These ancestral beings are still present in the landscape, and their stories are told through songs, dances, and art. Dreamtime connects the past, present, and future, and underscores the sacred relationship between the Aboriginal people and their land. As societies became more complex, animistic beliefs often evolved into polytheism, where the spirits of nature became gods and goddesses with distinct personalities, domains, and mythologies. In ancient civilizations, such as those of Egypt, Greece, and Rome, animistic elements can be seen in the worship of deities associated with natural phenomena, such as the sun god Ra, the earth goddess Gaia, and the sea god Poseidon. Despite the dominance of monotheistic religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, animistic beliefs have persisted in various forms. Folk religions, syncretic practices, and popular traditions in many cultures retain elements of animism, such as the veneration of saints in Catholicism, which often mirrors earlier animistic practices of honoring spirits and deities. In the modern era, animism has found a new relevance in environmental philosophy and the ecological movement. The animistic view of nature as alive and sacred has inspired contemporary environmentalists to advocate for the protection of the natural world. This perspective challenges the dominant Western view of nature as a resource to be exploited, and instead promotes a more sustainable and respectful relationship with the environment. In recent decades, there has been a resurgence of interest in animism, particularly within New Age and neo-pagan movements. Neo-animism embraces the belief that the Earth and all its inhabitants are interconnected and alive, advocating for a spiritual reconnection with nature. This revival often incorporates elements of indigenous spirituality, environmental activism, and holistic healing practices. Contemporary philosophers have also engaged with animism, exploring its implications for understanding consciousness, agency, and the nature of life. Some have argued that animism offers a more holistic and inclusive framework for understanding the world, one that challenges the anthropocentric and dualistic assumptions of Western philosophy. Animism has also played a significant role in the global Indigenous rights movement. Indigenous peoples around the world have drawn on their animistic traditions to assert their rights to land, resources, and cultural preservation. Animism, in this context, is not just a set of beliefs, but a foundation for political activism and the fight against colonialism and environmental degradation. The rise of Western rationalism and scientific thought in the Enlightenment era led to the dismissal of animism as a primitive belief system, incompatible with modern science and reason. Animistic practices were often suppressed or marginalized by colonial powers, missionaries, and modernizing states. This rejection was based on the assumption that nature is inert and devoid of consciousness, a view that has dominated Western thought for centuries. Some anthropologists have critiqued the concept of animism as too broad and reductive, arguing that it oversimplifies the diverse and complex spiritual practices of indigenous cultures. They suggest that animism, as defined by early anthropologists like Tyler, reflects Western biases and may not accurately capture the nuances of indigenous worldviews.
Post-colonial and decolonial scholars have challenged the Western dismissal of animism, arguing that it reflects a colonial mindset that devalues non-Western knowledge systems. These scholars advocate for a re-evaluation of animism, recognizing it as a legitimate and sophisticated way of understanding the world, one that offers valuable insights into human nature relationships and environmental stewardship. Animism, as one of the oldest and most widespread forms of religious and spiritual belief, continues to have a profound impact on human thought and culture. It challenges us to see the world not as a collection of inert objects, but as a living, interconnected web of relationships. Animism invites us to reconsider our place within the natural world, to honor the spirits that inhabit it, and to live in harmony with the environment. In a time of environmental crisis and growing disconnect from nature, the animistic worldview offers a compelling alternative to the dominant paradigms of exploitation and domination. By recognizing the sacredness of all life, animism encourages a more sustainable and respectful relationship with the earth, one that acknowledges the interconnectedness of all beings. Whether through the revival of indigenous practices, the adoption of neo-animistic beliefs, or the philosophical re-engagement with the idea of a living world, animism continues to inspire and challenge us. It reminds us that, in the words of Chief Seattle, all things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of animism. We hope this exploration has given you a deeper appreciation for the spiritual connections that many cultures share with the natural world. Whether you're new to these ideas or revisiting them with fresh eyes, we believe there's always something valuable to learn from the wisdom of ancient traditions. At FactUp, we're committed to bringing you thought-provoking content that inspires curiosity and a deeper understanding of the world around us. If you enjoyed this dive into animism, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below and join the conversation. Remember, the world is full of wonders and mysteries, and here at FactUp, we're just getting started. Stay curious, stay connected, and as always, keep exploring different ways of thinking. See you in the next video. FactUp Realm, different thinking, different world.